Well, good morning or good afternoon, everyone. We're so excited that you have joined us live. And those of you who haven't will be watching this amazing recording from Coach Jerry. We are just so excited that he continues to pour into us every month for 3 weeks. So we are just so blessed to have him. And get out your pens and paper. You're going to be rocked by this coaching. So Jerry, I'm just going to have you take it away.
Linda, I love you, my friend. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so excited to spend time with all of you. Every once in a while, I have a training that I come up with that just lights me up. And this is one of them because I know the impact this is going to have on your lives and your businesses. And we're going to unpack some things today that are going to really make a difference. Before we do that, I just want to remind all of you that we have our dates set for September. It'll be Wednesday, the 9th, 16th, and 23rd. Those are the 3 dates, same time, same bat channel. I'm already working on my messages that I want to share with you for next month, but I have to get myself back and focus on today. So the title of this message today is How to Attract the Right People to Your Team. That's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I am going to do something that I normally do not do. I am going to share verbiage with you today, but I have some exciting news around the verbiage that I will get to in a moment. But let me tell you this story. Maybe this has happened to you. When I was building my network marketing business, I had a goal of attracting people to my team, because I understood that selling will only move you so far, but it's in the building that you grow. And it's in the building where sales come as a byproduct of that. And so I had a goal and I had a mission to go out and attract people to my team. Now you would think that's a great mission. It's a great goal. That's what I want to do. No, you don't. Take it from me. You do not want to attract people to your team. Because when you tell your mind, I want to attract people, dear God, have mercy, they will come from everywhere. And you will look at these people and go, who are you? What are you doing here? How did you even get here? Because you're attracting people. Doesn't matter what kind, they're just all showing up. And so I realized I have got to change my focus. And so I started focusing on how do I attract the right people to my business. Because how many of you know this? When the right people show up, business is exciting. When just people show up, you're exhausted, you're depressed, you're discouraged. You think there's something wrong with me. What is going on? So we've got to attract the right people. The question is, how do you do that? That's what we're going to talk about today. So I shared this training in Green Bay at one point. Linda will probably remember this. Some of you may remember it, but you're not going to hear it the same way. And people loved it. And one of my very dear friends, Linda knows very well, the great one and only Eunice Ray, loved this so much that unbeknownst to me, she sent this into compliance to see if it was approved, workable. And surprisingly, after a couple of little tweaks, they actually approved it. So I have my first approved script in 8 years, and they have no idea it's me. I don't really care. I just know that it's approved. I have the letter that Eunice got from compliance. So I tell you that to let you know you can use this in absolute, utter confidence. That's exciting. But let me tell you the mental part of what I'm going to talk to you about today, because here's the thing. Handing people a script full of words does not make a difference. Unless and until you understand how the words work and why they're effective. When you understand the how and the why behind any script or any verbiage, it builds your confidence and you'll end up using it more. So I'm not just going to throw out a bunch of stuff to you. I'm going to work this into your subconscious, into your brain, so you understand why this works, how it works, and then you go out and put it to work. But let me tell you the challenge that we have when we're talking to people. We're trying to find the right people. We're talking too much about the things that are important to us instead of talking about the things that are important to them. We're spending too much time focusing on why we're doing the business instead of trying to find out why would they want to do the business. We've got to start focusing on what people want and what moves people instead of what we want and what moves us. Okay, that's the beginning of how you attract the right people. Now, the challenge we have is I'm going to use a fishing example, okay? And I want you to think about this. We're on a boat going fishing. Well, let's just use an awesome example. There's Peter and his disciples on a boat in the middle of the lake, the river, the ocean, wherever they are. They're fishing all day long. They can't catch anything. Well, then Jesus shows up on the scene. And what does Jesus say? Cast your nets on the other side of the boat. And what does Peter start doing? He starts arguing with Jesus. Jesus, we've been here all day long. The sun, we're sunburned. Nothing's going right. And Jesus just quiet. Cast the nets on the other side of the boat, right? So what do? They cast the nets on the other side of the boat, and what happens? They catch so much fish that they cannot hold it in the nets that they have. The nets are breaking with all the fish that they're catching. And I love that story because I can apply it to how our business works. See, many times the reason that we can't attract the right people is because we're casting out one line in the water with one thought. And many times that thought does not hit people the right way because everyone thinks differently. And so we're just casting out, hey, let's have some fun. Let's just wait until Debbie gets off the phone. Look at her. She's sitting there on the phone. She's having a conversation. She doesn't even realize that we're talking about her right now. Yeah, Debbie, I know. I understand. Let's just see how long we can wait until Debbie realizes that we're not doing anything until she gets off the phone. Isn't this fun, Linda? See, you got to have a good time when you're coaching. Look at Debbie. She's laughing. Doesn't even. Debbie, don't turn around, Debbie. No, you need to look my way. Yeah, no, we're on a coaching call right now, Debbie. You should not be on the phone ordering pizza for lunch. Come on, get off the phone. Come on, Debbie. Debbie's not even paying attention. Okay, so back we go. I had to, Linda. It was too fun. Okay, so here's what we do. We cast a line out there with one thought, thinking that the one thought is going to attract everybody we talk to. And yet most of the time it doesn't. And so what happens is we get frustrated because we're throwing the lure in the water with this great thought, but that thought is not reaching everybody because not everybody feels the same way about the thought you're casting out there. So then we get frustrated, and guess what we do? We stop casting the lure out. We stop trying to find new people. But when you throw the net out and you put the net in the water, all of a sudden you have a larger opportunity to attract more of the right people than if you just threw out a line with one thought on it. If this doesn't make sense, it will in a minute, okay? So the question you have to ask yourself is, who are the right people? Who do I want to attract to my business? But more importantly than that, who are they in here? Because let me tell you what I used to tell people. When I would sit down with people, think about a corporate job. Think about a corporate job. Think about a CEO of a Fortune 500 company looking to hire somebody for their business. Are you telling me they don't know in advance who they're looking for? What kind of character traits they're looking for? What kind of skill sets they want the person that they're going to hire to have? Or do you think they just kind of wing it when they're sitting there going, yeah, well, she kind of sounds like she might be good? No, they already know in advance who we want, what kind of personality, what their skill sets are, and they're trying to match what they want for their company with the right person. But yet when it comes to our business, we don't do that. We don't ever stop to think about, well, who are the right people? Who do I want on my team? So that I don't have to be so frustrated and I can actually grow. And so we have to think about this process. So when I would sit down with people, I would say things like this to them. I'd say, so Alyssa, so here's the deal. When you go to a job, if you're going to a job interview, what do you have to bring with you? And of course, we all know, I've got to bring a resume, right? Well, what is a resume? It's a list of all of your work experience so that the employer can look at what you've done and see if you have the kind of skills necessary for the job that they have. Everyone understands that. Everyone knows that. But here's the thing. In our business, we are looking for a resume. But our resume is not about what you've done. It's about who you are. And let me tell you what that resume looks like. You see, my friends, that's how I laid it out. That's how I laid out the whole process. When you go to a corporate job, what do you bring? You bring a resume. What is a resume? It's a list of all the things that you've done work-wise so that they can see the experience you have and if your experience matches what they're looking for. Well, in our business, we are also looking at your resume, but we're not looking at what you've done so much as who you are. And let me tell you the kind of person that we're looking for our business. How many of you are with me so far? Okay, everyone except Debbie. So anyway, we're going to have some fun with this. Debbie, we're doing a coaching call. You're missing the whole thing. So anyway, so here we go. So then, who are we looking for? Number one, just remember Pam, P-A-M. Who's Pam? Well, Pam are positive, ambitious, motivated people. Right? That's what we're looking for. How many of you want negative, lazy, unmotivated people on your team? Nobody does. Well, then we got to look for what we want. Positive, ambitious, motivated people. So the first thing I'm looking for is 2 to 3 positive, ambitious, motivated people. Now, here's the challenge. Back to the fishing example. This will now make sense to you. So if I take the positive, ambitious, motivated bait and put it on the hook, and I toss that, and that's the only thing I'm tossing out there. I'm looking for positive, ambitious, motivated people. I'm looking for positive, ambitious, motivated people. The only people that are going to bite the hook are the ones that think they're positive, ambitious, and motivated. The ones that don't aren't going to bite because you're limiting your reach. So you've got to take what you have on the lure off and start to put it into a net so you can attract a wider group of people. Because there might be people you say, I'm looking for some positive, motivated, ambitious people. And they go, oh, wrong guy. And then you're like, oh, I got nowhere to go, right? So you've got to cast the net wider. I'm looking for 2 to 3 positive, motivated, ambitious people. Okay, here's the second bait. People who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, that want to be part of something bigger than themselves. Now think about that. Now our net's a little bit wider because I'm not only looking for positive, ambitious, motivated people who you might not be one of them, but I'm looking for people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, who want to be part of something that's bigger than themselves. Now, that could hit somebody in a different way than saying, I want a positive, ambitious, motivated person. So now, instead of having one lure in the water. Now we've got two. And because we have two, we have a greater chance of attracting somebody into our business that fits who we're looking for. Now, let me tell you a secret. I don't care who people are or where they are. Everybody, at some level, wants to be part of something that's bigger than themselves. Everybody does. You don't believe me? Let me prove it to you. Last year, I went to Toronto, Canada for a summit. It was right at the time the Toronto Raptors were in the NBA Finals. I land in Toronto the night the Raptors won the championship for the first time. So I get to my hotel, I go down to this restaurant, and there are literally like 60, 70 people in this restaurant. And I'm hanging out because, you know, when games are going on, the energy is amazing. I don't care if I don't live there. I love it. Well, they win the championship. The way they reacted to the championship, you could have sworn that Oprah Winfrey walked into the restaurant and said, "You get a car, you get a car, you get a car." People lost their ever. People were hugging me. They didn't even know who I am. They were screaming. They were yelling. They were going, "We won the championship." And I thought to myself, what the hell did you do? What do you mean we won? You didn't do anything. You sat here drinking beer, eating pretzels. You did nothing. But guess what? We won. It's our championship. We won. People lost their mind. So the next morning, I get up early to go to the arena so that I can buy Josh a championship shirt, because I'm kind of a good dad like that. He loves basketball. So I get there at 7:30 in the morning. I read the place doesn't open until 10. I figured, well, that's early enough. Get there. There'll be some people. I get to the arena. I open the door and I look and I'm going, what in the world? The longest line I have ever seen in my life, 7:30 in the morning. And I said to the guard, I said, well, is this the line to get into the store, the souvenir store? Yep. And it doesn't open till 10, right? Right. Well, how long does this wait? And he goes, well, right now, yeah, probably about a good 4 hours. 4 hours. Son, I love you, but not that much. So I left. Okay. I ordered him a shirt online. So I left on Sunday. Monday was the parade. And anyone that loves sports knows about the parades. So what happened in Toronto on that Monday? Businesses shut down. People took time off work. And 1.5 million people lined the streets of Toronto to celebrate a championship they had absolutely nothing to do with. 1.5 million people standing in like sardines, pre-COVID, of course, standing in like sardines, going crazy. Why? So that they can get a view of the bus that drives by with the players on the bus holding the championship that, of course, without them yelling and screaming, the Toronto Raptors would have never won it. So we have to take ownership of it, just so they can watch the players pass by. Now, the players aren't throwing money out to people. Thanks for being a great fan. They can't touch them, hug them. They can't even take pictures with them. They just are there. They want to see it. They want to experience it. And guess what? At the end of the day, why in the world did all those people show up and line the streets like sardines? Because every one of them wanted to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves. And because they don't believe there's any way in the natural way to make it happen, that's why they connect to sports. That's why they take ownership of a team's championship, because they feel like they, for some reason, had a part to do with it, because everybody wants to be part of something bigger than themselves. So we talk to people about that. I'm looking for 2 to 3 positive, ambitious, motivated people. Phew, there's a lure in the water. I'm looking for people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, that want to be part of something bigger than themselves. Phew, There's another lure in the water. Now the net's getting bigger, but we need some more. So let's throw another one. I'm looking for people who are tired of being overworked, undervalued, underpaid, underappreciated. Whew, now you're really throwing it out there, right? I'm looking for people who are tired of being overworked, underpaid, undervalued, underappreciated. Now you got somebody go, woo, sister, you're talking my language. That's me, right? Now you're casting the net longer, larger, wider. How about another lure? Let's throw another one out in the water. People who know they have a purpose greater than simply making a paycheck. People who know there's a purpose beyond the check that they make. They know it. How about one more out there? People that want to make a difference, not only for their families, but in the lives of families all over the world. And oh, I forgot to tell you guys this at the beginning. I'm so sorry. I already have this all written out. Linda, I will send you the script as soon as we're done with the call. It's already nicely typed out for you. I forgot to tell you at the beginning. I saw you taking notes, so I apologize for that. So think about this. You attract the right people by casting a net that gives the right people a chance to get in the net, because you don't know which of these things motivate people. All I know is something here has to. Hey, Debbie, how was that call? Was that an awesome call? Did you have a good time on the call, Debbie? We were just sitting here going, wow, I stopped the call for 5 minutes waiting to see if you would hear. You didn't hear anything. You missed the whole, you may as well just get off now and go do your day. You missed everything, Debbie. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it. Unmute your phone. Unmute your microphone.
See, I got so excited, I didn't even know what I was doing. That's one of those people that's on your team that says, I want to run. She has 2 huge prospects for me and was saying, I don't want to mess this up. She just started a week and a half ago, and she wants to be a DM in 2 weeks, 6,000. And she's running faster than like it's a freight train, and it's awesome. So when she calls, it's like she has very limited time. She owns 2 businesses, has a 6-week-old and a 4-year-old. So I figured the baby wasn't crying then, and I had to mute you. I am so sorry, but I saw Alyssa laughing.
How many of you accept that? Okay, all right, Debbie, we'll give it to you. But you know I had to have fun with you, Debbie, while you were on the call. I even asked you to order pizza if you were talking to the pizza guy. Okay, back we go. Okay, we can have fun, but back we go. So what you're doing is you don't know which one of these is going to motivate and move people. But here's the thing. The larger the net, the greater chance I have of something motivating somebody rather than just one lure in the water, hoping that that's the one that will work. Y'all with me on this? Okay. So I want you to think about this. I'm looking for 2 to 3. And remember, you don't need to write this. I'm going to send Linda the verbiage as soon as we're done here. I'm looking for 2 to 3 positive, ambitious, motivated people. People that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. People that want to be part of something that's bigger than themselves. People that are tired of being overworked, undervalued, underpaid, and underappreciated. People that know in their heart that they have a purpose in life that's far greater than simply making a paycheck. People that want to make a difference, not only in their lives, but in the lives of other people. The net is wide. The wider the net, the greater the chance you connect with the right people, because you don't know which of those is going to hit somebody. Y'all with me on this so far? Okay, now what do you say? This is the crucial thing. And when I find these people, remember, you don't need to write this. I, along with my leadership team, that's the whole kit and caboodle right there. Notice I didn't say, I'm going to, because I'm scared of my own shadow. How am I going to? But I, along with my leadership team, Who is your leadership team? Your VPs and your upline leaders. So when I find those people, I, along with my leadership team, am going to coach, train, and prepare them to build a successful business. And here's the compliance tweak that will give them a chance to create something bigger than themselves, a business with long-term rewards that will empower them to thrive and flourish. When I find these people, I, along with my leadership team, am going to coach, train, and prepare them to build a successful business that will give them a chance to create something bigger than themselves, a business with long-term rewards that will empower them to thrive and to flourish. So the only question, Linda, that I want to ask you is this. Did the person I just described sound like you? Oh, for God's sakes, who would want to say no to that? What kind of moron has to say? I mean, seriously, does the person I just described sound like you? Man, you are so off base, I can't even tell you, right? Who wants to say that? Or you can say this. Does the person I just described sound like you or someone you may know in your circle of influence? The wider the net, the greater the chance you have of attracting the right people. But when you're only casting out one lure in the water with one thought, you may attract people, but I guarantee you they won't be the right ones, and they're going to frustrate you to no end. And I'm telling you right now, when I wrote this in my business, when I built my business, when I wrote this and we started utilizing this, sponsoring went through the roof. Enrolling went through the roof. We started to bring in people. Now, this is not a guarantee that, oh, that's it, I'm a national vice president. Because people are people. You're still going to find people like this that are going to join the witness protection program. You're still going to find people like this that are going to be gone in 2 weeks. That never changes. But at least I know that I'm starting the journey with the right kind of people. Because I can't control what they do or don't do, but at least I can control, am I bringing the right people into my business? And if the person has some of these character traits, then I at least know I've got the right kind of person. Let's see what they're made of. Let's see what I can do with them. Let's see how far we can go. This is the difference between what Jesus was teaching. Yeah, look how you guys are trying to catch fish. Throw the net. Throw the net and watch what I do. And that's how we sponsor. Yeah, look at us. No, man, my arm's tired. I've been casting this lure all day long in the water. Nobody's biting. Of course not. Cast the net. Throw the net out. And you'll have a better chance of finding the right kind of people. And yes, Linda, that's exactly the bow on the present. You're pre-qualifying the people on your team before they join your team. Stop with the, I want to sponsor people. No, you don't. You do not want to sponsor people. You want to sponsor the right people because the right people bring you joy. The people bring you agony and misery and frustration and calls to me complaining about the people on your team that you shouldn't have sponsored in the first place. Do you know that you can refuse the right to sponsor anyone? Did you know that? You don't have to sponsor everyone if they don't fit. Why are you going to try to take a square and shove it into a hole? Well, if I try to shove them in there long enough, they'll eventually become a circle. No, they won't. They will always be a square. It's just the way it is. So when you focus on, I'm going to attract the right people, I'm going to talk about the kind of people. This is our resume. This is the resume we're looking for. We don't care about your resume and what you've done. We care about who you are. Because if you're this person, then you've got a chance to win. And if you're this person, I've got a chance to help you win. So yeah, we're looking for people's resumes, but we're not looking for a resume that talks about what you've done. We want to talk about who you are. And so let me tell you the kind of person we're looking for to see if it fits. And off we went on this. People say, well, I use this everywhere. I use this on my one-on-ones. I used it on my group presentations. And in my group presentations, when I was doing a group presentation for a business, and it was strictly focused on getting into the business, that's how I ended my presentation. Listen, you guys, let me tell you something. We're not looking for everybody because this business is not for everybody. If it was for everybody, everyone would be doing it. So we are not looking for everybody to be part of our team. We're looking for the right people to be part of our team. And who are the right people? Let me tell you who they are. They're people that are positive, ambitious, and motivated. They're people that are sick and tired. And I go through it. And I say, so the only question that we have to leave you with tonight is simple. Does the person that I just described sound like you? Or somebody in your circle of influence that you may know? And if the answer is yes, then here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Get connected with the person who invited you to this Zoom training tonight. Let them know, hey, that's me. And they'll sit down and answer all your questions, and they'll tell you exactly what the next step in the process would be for you. That's how I closed every one of my meetings. We're not looking for everybody. We're looking for the right people. And you know why I used to say that? Because back in my day, network marketing had a whole worse rap than it does now. And it still has a bad rap at times. But back in my day, 20 some years ago, oh, it was nasty. And what were network marketing companies known for back in the day? If you got a pulse, you're in. That was what they were known for. Let's throw them up against the wall and see who sticks. That's what they were known for. So I decided I got to change that mindset. So how did I change it? we're not looking for everybody. We're looking for the right kind of people. And who are the right people that we're looking for? Here they are. They're people that are positive, ambitious, motivated, sick and tired of being sick and tired, want to be part of something bigger than, are you guys getting this? And what it did, it streamlined the process of me finding the people that I could really help win and alleviate or greatly reduce the amount of frustration I had just sponsoring anyone and everyone. Does that mean that everyone shouldn't get a chance? Of course not. If somebody wants to win, hey, I'll give them a chance. I'll give everybody a chance. But I have a greater success rate when I find the right kind of people. Cast your net, not your lure. And when you cast your net, you'll have a better chance of attracting the right kind of people to your team. So there you have it, my friends. There you have it. Linda, I'm going to turn it back to you. Time for question and answers, Q&As, whatever people want.
So powerful, Jerry. You are just the master communicator, just being able to communicate so well so that we can understand and apply it. So thank you so much. Anybody have any questions, ahas, comments?
I love this. I love this. I love this so much. The net, go wide. Then you know what else I love about this is sometimes with my team, they'll say, oh, I've got this one person, and I really want, and I'm like, you know what? That person probably feels the pressure of you. When you only have one, it's almost like they can feel the, there's a good word and I can't think of it right now, desperation in your voice, maybe, versus if you have 10 people out there that you're working on hopefully joining your team. And I love the net versus the casting so much.
And Debbie got that in the 8 minutes she was on the call. That's fantastic. I can't imagine what she'd get if she was on. Debbie, I just have to. I just love you, my friend. I would only do that because I know that you can take it.
I can take it. Well, I've got my husband, who you met, as my witness. So he's got the day off today. And he goes, honey, you want to go to lunch? And I said, nope, it's Jerry's day today. I said, we're going to go at 1 o'clock. Not at 12:30 or noon. And
I love it.
Okay, I'll wait. So there you go.
You've redeemed yourself, my friend. I love you. And I want to just make one point to you, the importance of, and Linda, thank you, hearing you say those words, no words. Thank you. But let me explain something to you. How many of you have a better grasp of how and why this is impactful because of the examples I gave you before I taught you the verbiage? Does everybody have a better grasp? That's the difference. That's why it's not about, I could have just said, hey, here's a script. Let's go through it. There's the words. Read them, memorize them, go use them. Okay. But when you understand at a subconscious level, what you will do now is you will not forget the net. You will constantly be asking yourself, am I casting a net or just sending out a lure? What am I doing here? You're never going to forget that, because that image gets you to look at these words, and then you think of the resume. Hey, we're not looking, resumes talk about what you've accomplished. Our resume is about who you are. And let me tell you what the resume is that we're looking for, and does that sound like you? So when you can teach people the how and the why behind verbiage, the verbiage works way better for people than if you just gave it to them and say, here it is, learn it, study it, memorize it. There's no connection to it. That's why I wasn't a master, Linda, at very many things in my business. I was great at a lot of things, but I was only a master at one or two of them. And one of the things I was a master at was this, being able to get into people's heads and help them understand the logic behind, why are you saying this? And how does what you say affect the way people respond? Because when you understand, why am I saying these words in this way? And how might these words affect the way people respond? And you understand that element, then your confidence in using the scripts goes up exponentially. I had brand new people in my business that had been around for 2 weeks that I did this training with in my business and explained it to them. And they were like, oh, the light bulbs. Oh, I got it. And 2 weeks into it, out they are using it because they understood why it was impactful. And all they had in their mind, cast a net, don't throw out a lure. And you'll always remember that. So
it's heartfelt leadership. So people feel that you care rather than you're just trying to get somebody into something. And so that's why it's so powerful, is because all of us can relate to one or all of those things. So it's pulling at those emotional heartstrings of, one of the things that I like to say too is, have you been praying for something recently?
That's great.
And they say, how did you know that? And I said, because that was me.
That's
and so
good.
Being able to relate with a heart connection, they're pretty much in. They're in the net.
Yep, they are, and this is emotion driven, and people make decisions emotionally and justify logically. I did this on a training yesterday, and somebody said to me, well, how do we know which one of these somebody is? I said, you don't. That's why you throw the net. You have no idea. I can't look at Debbie and go, I wonder which one of these 5 she is. Oh, she must be undervalued and underappreciated. I have no idea which one of these Debbie is, but I do know this. If I throw the net out there, I'll figure it out. Debbie will tell me. And if she says, yes, that's me, my next question will be, which one of those resonated with you the most? Oh, I'm tired of being overworked and underpaid, because then they will give you the very things you need to get them started the right way. They'll tell you exactly what you need to know. I just know that I'm tired of not making enough. I know that I'm more than my job. Okay, now I got all I need to know to get you rolling and get you started and get you moving in what matters to you. Because when you launch people in what matters to them, you will get farther than when you launch people in what matters to you. Just remember that. Just remember that.
Yeah, and one of the things that when I first started this business, and I know that I've shared this, we're in the sorting business. And our whole, job is to move people from the maybe column to the yes or the no column. And so being able to ask these questions, you know, and really fine tune where they are, you're going to move more people to the yes column.
Absolutely. And one of the things that my coach used to teach me all the time is she says, you want to prepare things for people that would make them sound stupid to themselves saying no.
Yeah.
He always told me that. Not in a negative way, but when you ask a question, it was like, how could you possibly say no to this? Almost like, did you just hear what you said? You said no to that question. Hey, would you like an opportunity to have more time flexibility in your life? Oh, no, I don't need any more time. I like the 24 hours that I waste every day. Okay, that's fine. You know, but you have, so when you ask somebody this, does that sound like you? Does the person I just described sound like you? Who wants to say no to that? Because if someone says no to that, that is one boring life. And there's nothing you're going to do for that person to help them win. Because if they don't have some of these character traits or qualities in them, you can't do anything for those people. You just can't. And they're the ones that will frustrate you to no end. They're the ones that will come in and be uncoachable. They're the ones that will figure out, I know how to do this better than you. I can do it faster than you. I can do it. That's what happens. How do I know? Because I built my own business. I understand this. I get it. That's what happened to people. Is every time that they didn't have that, they'd come in and they'd always fight me on everything. And isn't it amazing that the people who always tell you everything that you do wrong, all the things you need to change, are mostly the people who don't do a damn thing in the first place. But they can tell you all of the, Linda, listen, you're a mess, Linda. This business that you're doing, I know you've been in it for 20 years. I know you're a legend, but let me tell you something. You need to do this. You need to change this. You need to fix this. You look at them going, you haven't rode a sale in 9 years. What are you talking about? You haven't been on a call in 9 months. What are you talking about? The people who don't do are the ones who always complain about what's going on. Just the truth. And so I just had to distance myself from those people. You know, what do they say in the South? Bless their heart. That's what I'd say. Just bless their heart. God bless them. Just bless their heart. And on you go to the next one. So who else? Questions, comments, ahas, anything you want to share? We got about 8, 9, 10 minutes. So I'm going to milk them for all we've got, Linda. I know we got some people that can't get on. You can maybe type a question if you have anything, or a thought if you have any in the chat bar. We're getting close to Debbie's lunch, so we need to finish up on time here. Or her husband's going to get on and start yelling at me. Why are you talking so much? I'm hungry. I know that's what I would do to Gina. Hey, come on, we got to go eat. So if nobody else has any questions, we'll wrap up the call. I don't want to just sit around, although you guys are all beautiful. I don't want to waste everybody's time. So Linda, I'll give it back to you then, my dear.
Thank you, Jerry. This just is so powerful. Again, I know that this is a busy time for so many people, so I know a lot of people watch the recording, and but thank you all for getting on live. It just makes it so much nicer to have a live audience here and to get the feedback, and the energy is contagious. So thank you so much, Jerry, for showing up for us and pouring into us and loving us. We just appreciate you so much.
Does Linda have a question? Oh, you have to unmute your little microphone.
Okay, does that work?
That works.
Okay, sorry, I'm driving. I'm trying to be cautious. But anyway, thank you, Jerry. This was crazy amazing. And I know you said you had a script, you're sending it to Linda. Linda, will you be posting that in Massive Momentum?
Yes, I will. I'll put it in the thread of this recording.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah, I'll
thank
post
you.
it, Linda, if it's okay. Go ahead, Linda. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say thank you. I couldn't take any notes today. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I got you covered.
Thank you.
I got you covered. Linda, I'll go ahead if it's okay with you. I'll post the script on the Momentum Builder page, and then you can just add it to whatever you want to add it to, if that's okay.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I'll do it as soon as we get off the call so I don't forget to do it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Love you guys. Have a great rest of the month. Close strong, and we'll see you back on September 9th in a couple weeks. Okay, bye everybody. Love you guys.
Thank
Have a good
you.
lunch, Debbie.
You know what? I should have closed my camera, but oh well. We're still recording, but.